Hi guys, my name is Max. I'm an account executive here at CrowdStrike. I've been with the business for over 3 years now, and I'm delighted to have the chance to talk to you about who we are, what we do, and how we work with Protos to help you guys increase your security posture. So yeah, feel free to go to the next slide. So really what I wanted to do first is talk to you a bit about what we've seen and what are the trends that we are noticing in the market. Most of you guys, or I hope, have heard about what we call the Global Threat Report. This is a report that we put out annually that basically takes all the data that we have from our customers, and we have north of 20,000 customers globally, and really gives us a good insight into what's happening in the market, what are the threat actors and e-criminals leveraging on a daily basis to try and penetrate your environment. And what we've seen last year is that there's been a significant increase when it comes to cloud workload environments. So that's what you can see on the left. We've seen almost 300% increase when it comes to targeting your cloud environments, which is really a big topic that we want to cover for you guys. The following one, and that's the one that you can see in the middle, this is everything that is related to stolen credentials and identity-based attacks. What we have noticed is that cyber criminals are becoming smarter about the way that they are targeting your environments. And what they understand is that most of our customers today are still leveraging legacy-based solutions. You know what they are. And those solutions typically are only able to block threats or attacks that are malware-based. So any attack that is malware-free, those legacy AV solutions will not be able to block. So that's the reason why we've seen a massive increase when it comes to identity-based attacks recently. But also one thing that I think is quite important for you guys, and something that we have noticed, is that 84-minute number that you can see there on the right, which is basically what we call the breakout window. The breakout window is basically what happens when a threat actor gets initial access to your environment, all the way to starting to move laterally in your environment. So 84 minutes was the average that we calculated back in 2022. And if you can move to the next slide, you can see that this breakout window over time has gone down dramatically. So back in 2022, 84 minutes was the average. Last year, in 2023, the average came down to 79 minutes. And this year, we've actually just released our brand new Global Threat Report, I believe, last week. And you guys are able to download it from our CrowdStrike website. This average has gone down to 62 minutes. And the quickest attacks that we've seen is as quick as 2 minutes. So this is, again, one of the reasons why we work with partners like Protos, because we want to make sure that you guys are armed and able to be comfortable, identifying, investigating, and remediating within that 62-minute window. And Protos is one of the partners that we work with that we feel confident can help you in achieving this outcome. So here's just a quick slide to what are the different steps, which you guys or our customers need to take when it comes to, the life cycle of an incident, or from receiving an alert, investigating what's happened, taking the necessary actions to stop the attack, and all the way to the remediation. So as we know, this is a process that can take a very long time. This is something that can happen, on a 24/7 basis. So if something happens during the weekend or at night, and we don't necessarily have the resources internally to deal with that on a 24/7 basis, this is, again, the reason why we work with partners like Protos to help you guys have that 24/7 protection. So really what we've built at CrowdStrike is a single lightweight agent that you can deploy on your laptops, desktops, servers, cloud workloads, domain controllers. And this is the lightest agent out there in the market, because we know that there's an agent store there, and quite often some of the prospects that we work with that want to move away from legacy solutions do have issues when it comes to agents being heavy on the endpoints and impacting end users. So what we've built is a single lightweight agent that doesn't require a reboot when you deploy it, and really also build that single user interface. Quite some time we do also hear from customers that other solutions require multiple user interface, whether it is for your on-prem endpoints, having a cloud interface as well. It can be quite difficult to correlate the data, and there's quite a lot of issues when it comes to siloed information. So what we've built at CrowdStrike is a single pane of glass, single lightweight agent that really helps you build that correlation and be able to, again, accelerate the investigation and the remediation process. So what I wanted to take you through, guys, today at a very high level is our portfolio. So really what you need to focus on this slide is very much the top half and really the different use cases that we can address and where we can help you increase your security posture. So what you can see on the top left is the endpoint security and XDR piece. This is what most of you guys would know from CrowdStrike, and this is our bread and butter. So we, as you guys would probably know, we as CrowdStrike pioneered the EDR technology. So really having the ability to collect all the metadata that is being collected on your endpoints, and having the ability to threat hunt through that data to identify any potential threats that may have bypassed the AV solutions. So again, this is what you guys mostly would know us from. And then, as I mentioned in the first slides, we as CrowdStrike have noticed a massive increase when it comes to targets in the cloud, in your cloud workloads and cloud environments. And one thing that you guys might know as well is that we are a cloud native company. So we started in the cloud, and we actually, before piloting and releasing our cloud security workload or cloud security capabilities, we actually built our own cloud security capabilities internally. And our customers asked us to provide to them our own capabilities internally. And that's how we ended up releasing Cloud Security Protection. And this is now, I would say, the fastest growing workload or module and capability from our portfolio, because as you know, more and more companies are starting to move more aggressively to the cloud, and is the most targeted environment that we are seeing nowadays. But also, and I think this is probably not something that most people from you guys would know, is that we also have threat intelligence capabilities. And actually, CrowdStrike back 12 years ago started as a threat intel company. So what we did is that we didn't have a product, we didn't have an Next-Gen AV or we didn't have an EDR, but we started as providing services to our customers about what we were seeing out there, what were the threat actors and cyber criminals doing, what were the technique, tactics, and procedures that they were leveraging, really to provide a bit more of a consultative approach to our customers and give them the ability to be a bit more preventative when it comes to blocking these type of attacks for their sectors or their verticals. So that's really how we started. And based off of that knowledge that we gathered, we then built the EDR technology that we pioneered, because we felt like we had such a good understanding of what the threats were out there. We were then able to build the first ever EDR solution, and really then obviously helped us gaining that maturity and that level of confidence that we have in our next-gen AV and EDR solutions. But then as well, we started a couple of years ago to release capabilities when it comes to identity protection. As I mentioned, we are noticing and seeing out there more and more threat actors, buying stolen credentials on the deep dark web and bypassing security through that methodology. So what we can do, again, with the same agent that you can deploy on your endpoints, you can deploy that agent on your domain controllers if you are an Active Directory. And in the same way, we are going to be able to understand, what your users are accessing, where they are logging on from, and also having the ability to prevent and put in place some rules that will allow you guys to, push MFA requests if you want to double check their identity, things of that nature. Which we believe is very much important in the context that we live in today. So these are very much the key buckets and the key sort of use cases that I wanted to cover today. Just to let you guys know that not only we can help you at the endpoint level, with EDR and next-gen AV capabilities, but we have also expanded our capabilities through cloud, identity, threat intelligence. These are things that we and Protos can help you guys with. You can move to the next slide. And I'm sure that most of you guys would have heard of, Gartner and Forrester. Just to reinforce the messaging that we are the top right vendor in both Forrester and Gartner when it comes to endpoint protection. Not only we are for the endpoint protection, but also when it comes to threat intelligence and vulnerability management. So we feel like we have built the leading platform when it comes to security in the market, and we can help you guys with more than just the endpoint. So just wanted to reinforce that messaging that we are validated by third parties in the market. So that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover. I appreciate it was quite high level, but hopefully, depending on the level of knowledge that you have on CrowdStrike, that would have helped for you guys a bit more to understand what we can deliver. But more than happy to answer any questions. But I'm sure that you guys are quite keen to see the demo, so I'll hand over back to the guys at Protos.
Thank you very much, Max. No questions coming in as yet, but everyone, if you have got questions, pop them in the chat and we can kind of go through it. I'll hand over to Mr. Technical Director, Darren Cooley.
Thank you. So I'll go over then. Over the past few years, I think we might have some customers. I think we have got quite a few customers on who are on our managed detection and response, service. And CrowdStrike obviously plays a key part in this. However, our service aims to be a holistic service, and we aim to monitor as much of your IT infrastructure as we possibly can. So, over the past 4 or 5 years, this has really grown. And we're quite proud of what we built now and what we can do for our customers. So you'll see in the demo that we're able to integrate with a whole heap of different systems. So if we start from the left, as you see there on your screen, software as a service applications. As Max said, CrowdStrike was a cloud-first company. Many of our customers, when we get RFPs and things like that, they say how much they want to adopt the cloud-first strategy. So obviously, our EDR being entirely cloud-based is key to that. That integrates our own zero trust and identity service that we use is Cisco Duo. We make no bones that we are a Cisco security house as well. And I'll show you in the demo how we can potentially block people from Cisco Duo as well. Then other security solutions such as Cisco Umbrella, which is our secure web gateway solution that we use for our clients. We integrate with that. But then your core business applications, namely things like Microsoft 365, Azure AD or Entra ID, whatever it's called this week, we integrate with that. Salesforce, Jira, any of these cloud applications that you might use and we can integrate with. And obviously, depending on the level of API integration and things that we have, we can take actions directly from our platform on that. Your infrastructure as a service, a lot of people are moving away from their on-premises infrastructure and moving, their workflows or their servers or their infrastructure into the cloud. And we can extend our monitoring into your AWS environment, your Microsoft Azure environment, your Google Cloud Platform environment, and we've got specialists internally who can set that up and ensure, for example, if someone creates a new resource group in your Azure environment or something like that, we detect that. And then your traditional on-premises, or you know your virtualized environments. You know, Microsoft Hyper-V, VMware for as long as Broadcom keep it alive, and we don't know what's going on with that. And whatever you want to bring to the party, if you like. So if you've got Fortinet firewalls, Palo Alto, you know, name the others, your Cisco infrastructure, Cisco Meraki, things like that. We integrate all that with our SOC and get that pushing over to our core systems. And then at the endpoint level, you know, depending on what it is you want, you know, your Windows and your Macs, you know, we can monitor. You know, deploying the CrowdStrike agent over to them is obviously critical to this, and I'll demo shortly, you know, how this allows us to gain control over that. But it doesn't just have to be that. You know, we can integrate with MDMs and things like that to monitor your iPhones and, you know, your Android devices and all that good stuff. Click next. This is all feeds into our XDR and Core SIEM platform powered by USM Anywhere. As I'll demonstrate in a minute, this is pulling data from all of these sources. We've got over 650 possible integrations, you know, and if an integration isn't possible, we work with AT&T, our supplier, to go and configure and build those integrations directly. So we're pulling data from everywhere. That gives us analytics. We're able to correlate that data in order to detect threats, you know, and the quicker we detect threats, the quicker we're able to respond to them. And we do that by our orchestration. I'll show you in a minute. You know, we can either take an automated action. So for example, if a user logs in from country X in their Microsoft 365 tenancy, can we automatically block them? We won't always do that, you know, because we might end up blocking, legitimate users, and it might cause you headaches. But we can certainly set up those orchestrations, and we can take those response actions to block it straight away. And that's what I'll demo shortly for you. Next, please. Sitting behind all of this is a lot of threat intelligence. You know, CrowdStrike, I think you're one of the leaders, aren't you, Max, for you know, in the market for threat intelligence. So obviously we'll get sources from there. We have our SOC, as you know, our team have been building our own cyber threat intelligence platform, you know, in the past few years. So, you know, we're pulling that from various sources, and that might be blogs, it might be organizations like the NHS, people like that, we're pulling that in. But then we also have the Open Threat Exchange, which is the world's largest open source threat intelligence platform behind that. And then our other vendors, you know, such as Cisco, Microsoft, you name it, whatever you bring to the party, all of this can feed into our platform. And, you know, security platforms really are only as good as the, you know, the threat intelligence that's behind them. Obviously, all of that is monitored 24/7 by our SOC team. You know, I believe that one of the key things any organization should have in this day and age is, you know, they should be monitoring things. They should have a good EDR. And then if something happens at 2 a.m, is someone responding to that? Are we getting someone out of bed? Whatever that looks like, that's what we're aiming for, and that's what we're seeing in the market now, especially in that mid-market area where Protos play. We're seeing a need for this being driven by the boards. We aim to go above and beyond, though, not just detecting something and sending you an email on how to deal with it. If we can, we will jump in and take an action to do that. But we will work with you as the customer or your IT team, whether that's an in-house IT team or you outsource that, to build you a dedicated incident response plan with the associated playbooks behind that. You know, if it's ransomware, if it's a compromised Microsoft account, something like that, and test that on an annual basis. And these are very bespoke and designed for you. And this is where we add value here, our team of specialists. All of our incident response plans aligned with NIST 861, which is the industry standard for incident response. You know, so you can have peace of mind that if something does happen, you know, people aren't going to be running around headless chickens. There are going to be plans in place, and we will do an annual exercise and a planning session with you to make sure that all of your incident response team knows their role, knows who Protos are, knows what needs to happen. And that just doesn't extend to the IT team. This could be your HR team, could be your finance department, it could be your public relations, if you are a high profile organization. I think there's one more. And so that's obviously the MDR service, but sitting behind this is all of the other great stuff that we do, security architecture engineering, we do this for our customers. They bring us, they've got an disparate IT estate, and they need to secure it, they need to harden their systems, they might need a firewall review, whatever it is, we can design this and maybe tweak your network and your systems just to make them a bit more secure. We've got a whole team of pen testers here. I've been doing some testing this week, and you'll see that in some of the demo I'll show you in a moment. We have a team of qualified pen testers here, certifications from Crest, Cyber Scheme, all of that good stuff. Bring us in to do that. We can do vulnerability management, for you. As most of you probably know, we're a Cyber Essential certification body. We have been for a number of years now. And that's how a lot of our customers know us on that security side. So we can do that for you, but we can do the wider governance, risk, and compliance piece for you as well. So whether that's moving towards ISO 27001, maybe you need information security policies, risk assessments, whatever that looks like. We have quite a diverse skill set within our team across multiple areas of information security. So I'm aware I've gone on for quite a bit there, but that is, Protos's MDR offering, and this is going to be, a big focus for us this year amongst our customer base. So I will move into the demo. So before I start this, again, as I said this morning, I have asked the team to go and kick off a load of malicious activity, and so like any demo, I do need to warn you that this might go wrong, it might not work, and things like that. Hopefully it will, and then all should be fine. So if people just let me know, they can see my screen there. Yeah.
Can everyone see that? We just put a thumbs up in the chat just to make sure. I'm assuming no one's saying they can or they can't.
Max, can you see
it?
Yes, I can. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So what we have here is as I said earlier, this is USM. This is our core system, that we use to monitor multiple systems. So obviously, it's not a demo of this today. This is just getting into a little peek behind the curtain of how we monitor our customer environment. So I'll just quickly show you, some of the applications and some of the systems that we integrate with here, and you'll see that, in a moment. So obviously Cisco Duo is our core ID system. CrowdStrike is obviously what we're demoing today. We can also integrate with things like Defender, Microsoft 365, all of this good stuff. So again, we're going to do a separate webinar on that in the near future. So keep your eyes peeled here. However, if I go back to our alarms, so our system is pulling in millions and millions of events every day from all of those environments, and it could be Active Directory, servers, it could be your endpoints, Windows, Linux, all of that good stuff. It's correlating these threats, and it's looking for malicious activity on our machine. So as I said here, I had our team earlier kick off a load of malicious activity, and as you can see here, the SOC guys aren't very happy at the minute because we've kept them a bit busy this morning, but obviously we'll close these in a minute. So if we just pick one of these here, so CrowdStrike has detected here that we've deployed some hacking tools to one of our systems here. So this here, for those of you who don't know, this is what it's a file called WinPeas. This is in a pen test or in a live attack. If someone gets a foothold on your system, they will try and privilege escalate to an administrator. So that's what's been detected here. It depends what we detect here, but we can, we can do our own playbooks, as we said earlier, and run them. But if we saw this in the wild, for example, what we would do straight away is we take an action. So if we look here, Luke Martin, one of our pen testers, always up to no good. We can select multiple actions from here. So just let them load. They did load a minute ago. So again, live demo. Great. There we go. So we can run a whole heap of actions from here. So if I just, we could run a forensic scan on that machine direct from here and pull that back. We can just run a general query against Windows, logged in users, all that stuff. We can do that as well through CrowdStrike, which I'll demo in a minute. If we thought this attack, for example, had come through Microsoft 365, I know it hasn't in this case, we could, disable that user account in Microsoft 365 and just get that disabled before we carry out any further actions. Again, we use Duo internally, Cisco Duo, so we could, disable that user, whoever that was, could be me, could be Damien, something like that in there. In this instance, we take CrowdStrike and we just contain that host straight away, or we could lift the containment of that host straight away. That's what we do. I'm not going to do that because he's actually working, he's writing a report for me and I don't want to slow him down this morning. But, they are the quick reactions that we can take, and then that will allow us, hopefully we contain the threat and then jump in and understand what's going on. So what we do from there is we go into the, just bear with me a second. So we go into the CrowdStrike dashboard here, just to go around. So just quickly go around what's going on here. So monitoring all of our endpoints in here. The crowd score here is the risks that are in our environment. So the higher the score, the worse, really, to be honest. So our score's gone from 0 to 30 this morning because we've unleashed a load of malicious tools across our network on purpose for the sake of this demo. So we could click into it and see all the incidents. I won't do that just yet. We could see what's going on there. We can see all the detections in here, and I will go into there in a moment and show you exactly what's gone on there, and we can see our crowd score over time. It goes up and down. The guys have been pen testing this week. When they're out pen testing, they will trigger a load of alarms. As you can see this morning, detected by AI, machine learning, and execution of malicious commands. These are just some of the things that will break down. So if we take Luke, for example, so we look at Luke's machine here. That's what we were seeing there. We can see here an overview of this event, what's happened. So we can see that a process launched that met cloud-based behavioral machine learning for malicious activity. Now, what's happened here is Luke has used PowerShell to try and download a load of privilege escalation tools, and it's gone crazy. So what you're seeing here, these are all Windows privilege escalation tools. So let's imagine, this isn't the demo, this is the real world. The attacker's potentially got a foothold on your machine. And they might have it at a lower user level, and they're trying to, escalate their privileges. So that's what we can see here. We can see that PowerShell launched this. We could see the script that was launched potentially, and some of the hashes and a lot of the information, related to this. So, you could take, for example, if we take Potato here, we could probably go into, just bear with me a second. I'll go into Virus Total. We could pivot into, we could pivot into, a tool such as Virus Total here, search on this file. We can also do this directly from the environment. And obviously, 58 of 72 vendors have flagged that as malicious. So, getting into the investigation that would be on. If we were to see someone putting that on a system anyway, we'd know instantly what's going on. As I said, we can isolate that host directly from the scene. We can also do it from here. But also, we can connect to this host if we wanted to. We can edit the status of this internally. So I've assigned this to Rob. If we wanted to close this, we could. We could give it a tag. Is this a true positive, a false positive? All of that good stuff in there. What we can see here is and this is really the why we went for CrowdStrike, is all of the information that we get from this. So if I just let this load a second, these are all the processes that were ran. Again, live demo. Moment. It's did work a moment ago. Let me refresh that. Lost internet. Okay, let me just go back into that. Sorry, guys. Typical live demo. Here we go. It's starting to load. Okay, so what we're seeing here is, obviously we saw the details of the event. What we can see here is the process tree of exactly what's happened here. So what we can see here is we can zoom in and out, and we can interact with this, you know, as much as we want. So what we can see here is Luke has launched a program from Explorer. We've launched a PowerShell script, and then we can see what's gone on here. So as we can see here, PowerShell, he's launched a script from here, and we can see, you know, what's happened here. You know, and he's trying to download a load of privilege escalation tools, and we can drill down into this further, you know, and take actions based on this. So, as I said earlier, we can network contain the host. We're not going to do that in this instance. What we can do from here is we can connect directly to the host, you know, and we can see what processes are running. And we can run commands on here. So, you know, it will give us, so if I run here, should give us all the processes that are running on Luke's computer. So I can go into here, and if we've got any malicious services that are running or something like that, we can kill that process ID from there. You know, we could get the logged on users. We could download some kind of forensic imaging software, put it on, you know, and we can do that digital forensic and instant response plan. Likewise, we can edit and run a whole heap of scripts. So, you know, there are scripts that come, you know, out the box with CrowdStrike that we could run. And we also have our own custom scripts that we could run. You know, we can query registry keys, you know, whatever that is. We can see all of the host information here and all of that good stuff, you know, and we could end that session. You know, say this host is contained, we could clear it up. It might be, you know, a bit of malware that's not, you know, might be potentially a PUP, potentially unwanted program. We clean that up, and then we can uncontain the host from here, you know, and we can interact with the host from here, and you know, that's all of the good stuff that we can do there. Something else I just want to show you, if I go back to my machine, you know, these are some of the incidents that have been closed. So as I said earlier this week, I was pen tested. And you know, I was trying to you know, move some files over to my local machine. So that's what this incident is here. So for example, I use certutil to try and move something back to my machine. As you can see here, we can see, you know, it was a file called eggs.txt, and it came from this IP address here. So this was a lab that I was working in there. You know, this is the command. This is some of the information that we can see from there to go and take those actions. Obviously, from here, if this was a major event from there, this would then kick in our entire incident response process from there. So I think I've demoed the platform enough from there. So I'll stop sharing and then hand back to you, Damien, if that's all right.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much for that, Darren. Sharing. Okay, yeah, thank you very much for that. What I'll do, I'll jump into the chat, just double check, see if there's any questions come in. Obviously, that was very, very thorough from both Max and Darren, so thank you very much for both of that. We have had a question come in. Thank you very much, Ian. So can the scope of adoption be introduced at a SaaS or infrastructure as a service level, as a starting point, with a focus, say, on Azure, Office 365, identity protection, and so on? Or does the customer need to go down the EDR route as well as the cloud solution protection?
That's a really good question. So you can come into this from any way you want. We've got customers, we can term it a soft light, don't we? For example, they will have CrowdStrike, they might have tools such as Cisco Umbrella, and we might put some Duo protection, on their 365. They might just have endpoint security. They might not, they might be in an existing contract with their EDR provider, and then they get the monitoring. And as Damien can attest to, the service is based on the amount of data that you're going to send to us and we store and things like that. So you can start this at a really low level and just monitor your Office 365 environment. And then as our SOC service for you matures, your security infrastructure can mature as well. And then we'd hope over time that it's great for us, from a business perspective as well, if you put those services with us. But if you, for example, have our EDR solution in, it just gives us much more power over your environment. So a long-winded way of saying, yes, you can come into this from any angle you desire, and you just need to, speak to our team on that one. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. I don't think any more questions are coming in. I don't know if anyone else has got any questions. So we're finished a little bit ahead, so we can give some people back their time. I do want to say, again, massive thank you to CrowdStrike and Max being on the call. If you have found any of that information useful, please reach out to ourselves. And Max is happy to be involved as well if we start looking at potential solutions, or if you want to know a little bit more about CrowdStrike and its functionality, please reach out straight out to us. I'm sure Max will attest to that, and you're happy to help out.
Absolutely, yes.
Perfect. That's brilliant. What I will say, this is the next one in our webinar series. Please look out. We have just launched a Meraki webinar series. It's going to be a 6-part series. It's going to be hosted in partnership with Meraki, Darren and Phil Lewis, our network sales specialist. There's actually some free goodies to give. We're giving away as well for people who attend all 6 webinars. You're going to get yourself some nice IoT devices delivered in a nice sustainable box as well. So that's brilliant. So please look out for that. That's on our website and it's on our socials. That's now live. So please register for that. That's everything from me. Anything else from you?
I'd say one more thing, just with the MSP packages. There are just on that, I think it's a bit of an extension to the question Ian asked. There are different levels you can come in at. There's the next gen antivirus, which doesn't have if you wanted to come at that level. Then there's the EDR piece, and then you can bolt on the different CrowdStrike modules onto that, and that could be vulnerability management, USB firewall, endpoint devices, all of that good stuff. And then you can go the full MDR if you wanted to. So I just wanted to add that into the mix as well.
Perfect. Anything closing for you, Max?
No, I think that's it. Really looking forward to helping you guys and answer any additional questions. But yeah, thanks for the time today.
Brilliant. Yeah. So we'll give you time back. Once again, thank you very much for joining, and we'll see you on the next webinar. Cheers. Thank you.